Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Total War Attila, featuring Medieval Kingdoms in the 1212 AD mod. And guess what? I've made my decision. You could figure out what I was going to decide, but I'm deciding to go and take on the Crusade here and get that ball rolling this episode. One of the things is the goal or the target of the Crusade is so freaking close. In fact, here it is right here. There's Tunis right down below us for Tunisia, or modern day Tunisia, I guess you could call it. And it's, I mean, come on, it's so close. We got to give it a shot. so we're gonna do that. What we're gonna do is probably send William off to lead the crusade. We will then see if we can't build a separate crusading army, so we have two full stacks to work with, and hopefully that gives us a good chance to be successful that way on this crusade. We will need to build up the second army. It's going to cost some money, which we have a good start here if I don't spend it anywhere else, to building that second Crusader army. And that's the plan, because right behind these two armies that we send, we have this army from our heir that in 2 more turns is ready to come down. And we have this army up in London, which is doing its final piece of recruiting right here on this Billman. And it'll be ready to come down and work the borders to the south of us here on the Iberian Peninsula. So it's all kind of fitting into place a little bit, so I'll be able to go on the crusade, bring these other armies down, and probably start some action down on the Iberian Peninsula, and it just seems to fit and gel and lets you all see a little bit of the crusade mechanic in addition to that. So there you go. One other thing I want to point out, if you haven't been reading the comments regularly on this playthrough, we have some great commenters, and one in particular who's been giving me some great advice and actually teaching me some things about the game that I have not been aware of. So take a look at the comments on the last episode before this one if you want to learn a little bit about how to get the legendary moniker on some of your generals and characters. It's some stuff I didn't even know. So hopefully you're picking stuff up from watching this playthrough, the parts that I do know. And if you also get in the habit of reading the comments, I think you're going to learn some extra tidbits that you'll be excited to know that are going to help you out in your own versions, in your own playthroughs of this game. So enough of the chit chat. Let's get the ball rolling. We just ended the turn last time. We'll just kind of tick off some of the info we gained from that turn. Population surpluses in Lyon and Sussex. We've demolished our blacksmith, or started. Yeah, that should hopefully maybe get it all the way demolished, but rather than building the building we need right away, I'm going to hold off till we get our crusading army built. And we got the Empower local ruler down here in Montpellier, and look at that, our public order is already on an upward trend. Units recruited, we got half of our longbowmen up in Paris recruited. We just have 3 more to go. So we're in shape to move forward and to get this thing happening. So the first thing I'm going to do in order to get this crusade going is we are going to see about raising an army down here in Montpellier. The other side benefit for there being there a turn, or however long it takes to recruit this army, depending on how expensive it is, we're going to be helping the public order down here also. So what do you know? Kind of a side benefit of that. So let's go raise our forces. This army, I'm not really super particular about having a family member, whatnot. We're just probably going to go into the pool to hire somebody. In fact, I don't think even in the family, because we just assigned the most recent guy to a governorship. Or let's just find out. Maybe someone else came of age, like Thomas. Why not get Thomas some experience if he's old enough to be able to recruit? We'll find out when we're going to recruit generals. We can have William and his brother Thomas going out on this one. So that kind of makes sense from a family point of view. So let's see when we pick up this army if 16 is old enough to be able to command an army for the Crusades. We'll find out. No, it doesn't look like Thomas is a choice for us, so he's not quite old enough. I thought that would have been cool if he could have been. His picture is becoming to the gaining the recruitable picture, the portrait picture. That means he's awful dang close, but he's not quite old enough. So let's see who we want. We got marksman, and I may just go with Edward on this one just to gain any experience for missile unit recruits that we may pick up in this process. I'm thinking that may be a nice choice. He doesn't come with any junk and baggage. Some of these older guys over here that we've demoted here and there. And yeah, I'm referring to the king when it comes to baggage. He's picking up some negative traits lately for public order. So we're going to hire the marksman. If we have the ability to recruit some longbowmen in this crusading army, that can only help us.
Ready for orders.
We'll just move in the city since squalor is not an issue here, and we're gonna see. We may have to wait a turn because I do not see the pop-up. If we go to his general details to be able to join. So we may have to wait a turn till he gains the ability to join the crusade is what I'm thinking here. Because usually down on the character, there's a little moniker about joining the crusade. So we'll check next turn to make sure that's the case. I know we have it here, and we might as well mark him down here, send this army on the crusade. Because we know we're going to do it. But I'm going to hold off a turn to make sure I can gain that same moniker here. Maybe it's just because he's just been recruited that it's not showing, and then we'll see if it turns up next turn. So we won't do any recruiting till that happens because I want Crusader units to be recruited. Alright, so what we'll do in the meantime, since we've dealt with all, there it is, King's Army founded the King's Fist. And after Crusades, we may see about changing some of those army names to something more appropriate to an army that's going on a crusade too. Edward down here, we're going to back you up just so we kind of bypassed and took a shortcut around Tunis before. So we're going to kind of head you back up there to be some eyes for us on your long trip to the Holy Land. Sorry for the detour, Edward. we didn't know there was going to be a crusade where we might be able to enjoy your eyesight and your vision for what we're walking into here.
I seek wine and companionship.
And we'll continue our southern trek on, yes, the road that we can see now that it is not covered by snow.
There is more I could do. How can I assist you further? Would that I were as swift as the angels. On the move.
Okay, and we've got our spies going on down here. We'll keep our spies here. Since I have an assassin over here to give me the eyes, I don't have to send another spy down that way. I will, however, kind of keep this spy kind of just floating back and forth looking for any potential hidden units. So when the other two armies come down here, we have a really clear picture on what we're dealing with.
Your orders. Can I assist you further?
And which path will be our correct path to start the military investment in the Iberian Peninsula. So there's not too many negative trends as far as public order, but we're not going to address them right now anyway because I'm all about conserving my funds. There's only a few provinces anyway having a negative trend at the moment, which is just amazing and awesome. And I don't think there's anyone left that might want to trade with us. We can give it a try. You never know. The Grand Knyazate of Chernigov. Sorry for any butchering of that pronunciation, but someone I wasn't expecting to have any trade available with, and I don't know if they'll be interested, but let's check it out. Any income at this point in time can't hurt.
Be welcome. I listen and speak for my people in our dealings today.
Well, very good. He admires Europeans. That must be why we have such a high rating. So let's see if we can gain any kind of payment. Still get a high rating. Oh, yeah. That one's only moderate. I think I'm just gonna go back to where it says high, because that's over 1,000 is nice to me, and I don't want to risk him saying no and not renegotiating to a lower amount. So we're just gonna go with 1,050 payment and see if this can't work. All right, we got another trade route.
Your words
Awesome.
have a noble honesty about them and are fair and just. I willingly accept your offer.
So good thing that he admires us Europeans. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hurry up and get to that next turn so we can see about recruiting some more armies for our forces here on the Crusade. And that means we'll be able to get our army in London on the move also. So that's something we also want to take a look at next turn. So we'll see you on the other side.
An alliance would truly benefit us all and keep enemies suitably awed. Will you move to meet us on this?
No, but if I were you, you're hearing the rumors and I would be concerned, but no. All right, infant mortality again, where life's been cruel for some of our young children in the family. So we'll take a look who lost a child when we have a chance. Henry now is the new child for William and Cecilia. So we're some of our marriages are starting to pay off as far as noble births. Mission succeeded. We have pleased His Holiness by completing his task. Your papal favor has increased. So one thing that we did get a request from last turn, in case you missed it, I kind of brushed right over the request, but we had a religious building under construction already, and it completed, obviously, this turn, and so our favor with the Pope has increased. In fact, does it show? Yeah, I know where to look for the favor of the Pope. Under summary, perhaps we'll see our papal favor. Somewhere down here we get to see it. There it is. Papal standing is up to 7. I think this was the level that if we needed a loan, we can trade in some of that papal favor and get some funds too from His Holiness. I think that shows up down here. Ask the Pope for money. What does it say? It has to be greater than 7. I knew it was something to do with 7. I thought if you reach 7, you could get a loan. But we got to get one more level of papal favor before we can do that. So that won't help us out on this crusade. But I thought we'd take a look. Let's take a peek at our general here. And do I have to have at least 1 unit recruited, perhaps, before I can take this army on the crusade? We're joining the crusade here with this army. It says we can recruit Crusaders, so maybe that's the way we have to do it. We're going to come down here and see if we can't trade forces over here, and then we'll get recruiting on our own since we can now recruit actual Crusaders. So let's make room for some Crusaders. There we go. And we are going to trade these forces off. I wonder if I could have just done Control All. And there they are. And then what we're going to do is, yes, we can still recruit our crusading force. Actually, Toulouse is just fine at the moment. Their public order has not deteriorated, so we're just going to stay right where we are to do our recruiting and see what we can pick up. Crossbowmen are the only possibility here. Let's see, Templar Sergeant Spearmen. We've got Hospitaller Sergeant Spearmen. So yeah, these troops are definitely going to be stronger than the majority of what we'd be able to recruit on our own. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 available for recruitment, and then we can fill out with whatever we're able to add to that from where we are now. And if you do read in the comments, so a good thing to know about this Crusader army is any units lost in battle cannot be replaced and replenished. So let's see what this costs. At some point it must tell us what the cost would be. And you can see our army maintenance is going down based on this number up here. Oh, is there others over here we can't see? Oh, there's even more that we can recruit than that. So, geez, oh Pete, how at what point do I find out if I can afford them? Well, we'll watch the maintenance to see who and what I can afford. And then maintenance-wise, my income is going to be dismal. But if I could recruit all those and have the funds for it, I say we should do it, right? What is this flashing pop-up here? Oh, no, our papal favor is greater than 7. So if we need money, we can use some papal favor now. So that I guess I looked at that before the turn, and there you go. So Crusade recruitment
Ready for orders.
is done. There they are. They're in our army. So really, it was not the upfront cost I had to worry about. It was the predicted income and the maintenance cost that I had to worry about. And there you go. We apparently can afford this army of 18. What we can do is look for a couple more. No, we've exhausted that for us. We can look for perhaps a couple more just out of the countryside. Or is there any No, mercenaries is not fleshed out. I knew that. Is there any regular recruits we can bring on board? And of course, I'm going to bring on a couple longbowmen.
We need good fighters.
And there we go. Is this army able to join now also? Yes. So now that he's got an army, so that's what it took for him to be able to, I would have had to have recruited at least one unit for him to be able to. But I'm just fine with having William lead this massive, powerful army. So we're going to send this army on the Crusade also. And there we go. And probably, I'm guessing, maintenance-wise, we wouldn't be able to add many more of the amazing Crusader units, so we'll just use our army we have here in place right now. So we finished the turn. Let's just kind of take a look through here. We have a bunch of population surpluses, and we're going to go through after I look through here, and I'm going to not make you watch my stop on every city and province and town, but I'll figure out how to spend some of this income for some upgrades that we will be needing. War has been declared, so this is the tab that'll tell me who else is going out on this crusade and who we have to beat to the punch. Kingdom of Sicily, very close to where we need to go. Kingdom of Denmark, they got a little more of a travel. Kingdom of Hungary has a little more distance to travel, and then the Latin Empire. So these are so far the initial kingdoms that are going out on the Crusades. We've gained some new traits, and this is probably for our new general here, so let's take a look at those. Thomas? No, it's not. Thomas has picked up a trait, good in a fight. Thomas has gained up a trait of zeal. No, we just got traits all over the place. This is Thomas, religious influence. Thomas, what's this? Likes Westerners, beautiful churches, great food, and the wine. Morale versus Europeans. Well, Iberian Peninsula a bit, maybe. Foreign interests, loyalty, less than pristine. But he is not like the king or anything like that, where we got to worry about loyalty underneath him. William is gaining zeal by going on this crusade. So there we go. We got some nice traits we're picking up here. Okay, we've gained some household members here. Research rate up 5%. We'll get that one assigned. Everything to help research now. And we finished Gothic architecture, and now we're working on treadmill-powered cranes, which will help our ports. What is that one thing that we picked up here? Theater, okay. Catholic Basilica, though that's a nice one to pick up for public order, a building that can help us here and there. And then here's another one. There's our declaration of war, joining the Crusade, and war coordination. Target is available if we want to get our vassal involved, but we will decline on that option. Before I forget, let's get Edward moving back up in that direction so I can, hopefully, as we set sail, get a better picture of what we're going to be up against up there.
As you command. How can I assist you further? I am with you.
Okay, hopefully we're getting close to being in range. Maybe next turn we'll get eyes on what kind of forces might be holding out in Tunis. And once again, we have our hidden roads. And there's our trade partner. We'll come down this way.
This is madness.
And there's Kiev, so we're also near Kiev.
For God's glory.
And our spies, they're going to hold place for the most part. We'll come peek over here in case anyone's hiding in the trees. That surprised us on that one incursion we made over the border, so nothing there, and that's looking good. Public order, we have 1, 2. We only have 2 provinces at the moment because of the church building that's built that are now under negative trends. So I'm going to take a look at those first. If I see anything we need to build, and then we'll take a look at some of the others, because we got, what, about 13,000 to be able to do some upgrades. So I'll let you know what I find out. Up here in Inverness, in the Highlands, we still have public order, even without anybody there, in the negative. And if we move out here, let's go find out. Our army will still be in the positive in Edinburgh. So maybe what I'll do is I wasn't really planning to spend on Inverness, but what it does is it allows me to move this army and just keep it more centrally located for any outbreaks that may happen, rather than keep it far to the tip, far to the north in Inverness. So let's see if there's any quick fixes to public order here. A noble domain could be one of those things. It'll lower the tax rate. But our income is not impressive here in Inverness anyway, so we can help the nobles there. And this particular building does help public order. So we could also build up our castle, but the cheaper investment is the manorial estates, which will grow our public order enough to turn this positive. There's a big chunk of our money right away. We're going to come down to Mercia. And Nottingham is suffering a little bit. What options do we have? Sanitation is amazingly good. And Walled City does not help public order. So we really don't have any immediate abilities to increase things here yet. And we don't have a governor. So the way to increase things in Nottingham, since this is the only other spot we have, is let's just see if we can recruit a governor to Mercia. If we have somebody that looks like they may be appropriate. Thomas, you've come of age now after one more turn, so much for being just a second too late to be able to make it on the Crusades. We got our governor, though, for Mercia. So let's highlight you, and always prefer to get a family member in place if we can help it. And there's also no cost in making this happen. There's Thomas, there's Mercia, and you should be in place. There you are. Very low very low influence right now, so there won't be no immediate In fact, let's look at Thomas. One thing I failed to do, in case he has all these negative traits for being a governor. Okay. That's really something I should have looked at first, you know? Oh, so he's the one that came of age with all the foreign interests and Europeans things and whatnot. So he's okay. Religious influence, we're good. Let's see if there's any companions that help morale right off the bat. Not just for the commander's unit. No, we'll go with the research rate, though, to help push that a little bit. And since he's religious, let's just really boost his religious influence. Why the heck not? And we will temporarily, let's just see what the income is like here. 384 in Nottingham. Not tremendously high at the moment. So just to get the public order turned around as quick as possible, we'll have to remember after some promotions to change the edict. I may have a public order edict sitting somewhere else that I could probably change now too, but as I come across it, we'll change those too. And this army up in London should be available to move out. Public order in London is positive 27, and I'm only contributing 22 to that with the army, so we should be okay moving that army out. We'll get it on the high seas, get them seasick on their way to landing at Rouen.
At your command.
In fact, we'll kind of compare next turn. Are they going to be able to move farther via land, or maybe going all the way around this way down to Bordeaux to get down where we need them? We'll kind of get a sense in which way might be quicker for us. And public order in London is just fine. And our army here should really just have one more turn.
Ready for battle.
Yep, and then they'll be able to get moving on down to the Iberian Peninsula. So we'll see. We may bring them on land if they end up being not too far behind this army, or if it's just a big difference, we'll bring them by sea. Well, let's see what these two armies are looking about. We got 2 turns to wait before this recruitment finishes, and then we'll get these armies on the move. In the meantime, we might as well keep them in place to help the public order in Montpellier for now. Why not? So in London, we have sanitation and public order to burn. Something that is another resource that was pointed out to me that I was overlooking. I managed to pick up the salt in Nottingham, but overlooked the iron that's available in London. So since we have positive sanitation, since we have positive public order, we're going to go ahead and start the iron mine, which at higher levels will eat into both squalor and public order. But for now, let's get this going. It'll help our income, and maybe it'll drive London's income up even higher here, because right now it is not necessarily. Our 2 highest provinces income wise is Aquitaine, Bordeaux, and Paris. Yeah, London's kind of lagging behind a little bit, so we'll see if we can kind of increase its economy's importance, economic importance, by building the iron mine. And that getting us pretty far as income goes here. I think I may just hold off on any more spending for this turn, and we'll go down here and make the next turn happen. All right, we had somebody die of natural causes. Gerald, now is he our governor in Colchester? That's an early departure from us, which doesn't thrill me. Another natural cause death at 68. This one is not so unexpected in London. And the Crusade for Jerusalem has been called, and Victorious Crusade, what does that do? Plus loyalty for all characters. So that is a big goal for us, to improve loyalty throughout the realm. And public order will get a nice increase anywhere where we have the presence of Catholic Christianity. So that's a nice bonus to the Crusade also. All right, our armies are growing impatient, but we have 1 turn left, and they will take to sea, and we will work to make our way to Tunis. Let's see if we have the range to get those eyes up above here to see what we're up against. And there we do. So the someone is already invested here, so hopefully we can make it in time. This is the Marinid Sultanate. Well, that's because they've been at war with Tunis, so I don't think it matters which one takes over. One is considered a horde. I think that's what that wheel symbol is. So I don't think that changes anything about the Crusade. This province just needs to be under our control, no matter who's holding it. So the Crusade, I believe, is still valid here.
As you command.
And we'll just keep our eyes over here to see what's going on. Well, the good thing is, well, I guess there's no army from the Alamad Caliphate in there. This, we'll see if this army takes over, and we will have an army to then battle. Oh, interesting again. Switzerland and Essex gain our population increases. We've made contact with the Duchy of Austria. We'll have to check our trade if we can remember at the end of the turn. Our natural cause deaths. In fact, let's take a look at Gerald in Colchester, and I do believe with the negative public order, we lost a governor. We're going to have to hire a new governor. And we did not lose a governor here. That was just one of our, probably our former persons that we took out of. Let's see if we can even tell. Yeah, it could have been one of our. There's no wavering loyalty right now, by the way. Even John, one of the habitual wavering governors, is in good shape right now. So it was probably one of our statesmen that passed away. One of our former governors, former generals that we had parked over there. With that death, however, we lost our executioner, which aided the public order in Colchester. Those I don't care about so much. Army integrity from William. That's one thing I got to remember. If I retire somebody, take away their household, because we lost a very nice household member with the cook here. We've constructed a Catholic chapel in Wessex, and look at that. Public order is skyrocketing now in Bristol. And Adam is fond of gambling, and that better. Which Adam is this? Corruption is increased. Is he one of our new governors, or is he? There's more than one Adam out there. That's the problem with so many similar names. In fact, is this our governor of Normandy, Adam, that we've just had these negative traits? Yes, fond of gambling. So that's a pain. He's coming of age, where hopefully that won't help us or hurt us for too much longer. I don't think down in Normandy there's any great issues we're going to have with corruption. Yeah, public orders, fine. Income probably took a bit of a hit with the corruption that we just picked up, but that's not going to kill us. Not at this point in the game. Let's take a look and see how far. If we move by sea... Yeah, I think it's far in our best interest to move by land. That's the way it would appear to me.
Going ashore. Finding shelter.
And we should have recruited the last of our longbowmen to help us out, so we can get this army on the move also.
Commander. Waiting for orders.
There we go. And Paris, as far as us moving out, public order is still just fine. So we have now 2 more armies. No, 1 turn left. 2 more armies that will be able to make their move next turn. And right as they're leaving, the forces are arriving. So that timing has worked out wonderfully. Our income is meager again, though, so that money we spent is not going to be replaced rapidly. So we want to get this crusade done quickly. That crusading army is then gone, and our income gets back up to the levels we're going to be used to. I'm going to peek in Bordeaux just to see if there's any buildings that could be appropriate or cheap enough for us that might be able to help with income down here. And a little side note, maybe a little food wouldn't hurt, because it lowers public order by 1. Not that that's really an issue. Let's more focus on income buildings and see if there's anything available. Well, we got a silver deposit down here, but silver I think you can build anywhere. Still, those silver buildings I think you could build anywhere. Well, this building helps wealth. Silver deposit helps wealth, increases corruption though. Maybe you go with the city center and go more for the. Do we have any of the fair kind of buildings? That kind of building chain that could help our income. We can obviously support it, any public order hits, and we can work on some squalor building upgrades to the clinic once we're able to research that. And if we get another building slot then available, which apparently we can increase now, we have the ways to pick back up our sanitation also if necessary. So let's go into the city square chain and start the building that way. We have nothing else that we're going to spend this turn. Let's make sure everybody's made their moves. Let's go back up here for this guy to continue scouting for us.
On the move.
And we'll just, no, he can't cross this river except through the city. So we'll end that turn here, and we should be able to continue down the road next time.
I am the shadow.
We will send our spy backwards to keep an eye on these things, make sure nobody else pops up out here.
I am eager to serve.
And we have another new potential trade partner, Empire of Epirus. Yeah, we got a few more, and I thought we had finalized the deal with Kiev here, but apparently I'm mistaken. So let's get back in there to diplomacy and see if we can get some more trade help to offset some of the hits we're taking temporarily with the Crusade.
My salutations and the good wishes of our people to you and yours.
We'll just go
Of
straight
what
up.
would you speak?
We'll just go straight up moderate for this one. And it's been accepted.
These terms are suitable, and I can agree to them in the voice of the people.
We have this possibility here that could be doable. Let's take a peek.
My salutations and the good wishes of our people to you and yours. Of what would you speak?
Trade chances are very high now. Let's see if we can get a little funds in return. And they have accepted for 300 to pay us. Let's go back to Kiev and that's the one. So we did not trade with Kiev. It was Chernigov that we got the trade with. So I just mixed up the Grand Knazates. I guess that's easy to do for me. There's a lot of things that are easy for me to mix up.
I welcome you on behalf of the people and give ear to your words.
Okay, our words are give us trade and ideally give us some money. And they have gone for it.
We will surely mark this agreement with games and possibly an extra public dole.
All right, so he has accepted our offer also. So all these things are coming together to help us with our income that has a temporary hit right now. Let's see if there's anybody else left. Oh, the Latin Empire could be out there looking for some trade.
In the name of the state, welcome. Speak as a friend or as an enemy, but do so with honesty.
Moderate, let's go straight up. And they've accepted also. Well, we're just getting all the, as we gain sight with all these trade routes on more people to trade with, we're just picking up trade left and right, which is only going to help us.
Do not attempt to sweeten truth with honey. Speak plainly, flatter, and you fail.
Well, this is probably one that it just isn't going to work now. I didn't pay attention to that going in there. Didn't even see the red over here. I need to open my eyes.
Be welcome. I listen and speak for my people in our dealings today.
Okay, Republic of Venice. Let's see. Moderate. Let's do it. Ah, and this time it's rejected
Our
them.
good taste does not demand the fripperies and gewgaws that you offer in trade.
We don't have gigaws or flipperies, by the way. That's our first moderate rejection in a while. So that's pretty much everybody that we came across, I do believe, yes. So there goes the trade. Actually a successful round, even though it ended on a sour note. And we do need to look at that governor up in Essex, I do believe. And that's Colchester, where we lost a governor, succumbed to death. Let's see who might be available for Essex. If we have anybody I might trust. Obviously no family members now at the moment. We may have some brides who in the near future, I think they have to get up to 30 to arrange. Yeah, so she's getting close to being on arranged marriage. So if we have somebody that looks halfway decent down here to pick up a governorship. And I think anybody that's just a statement over here might not be somebody I want. Let's find out. Hubert's going to die soon anyway, so let's not invest. Yeah, let's not invest anyone who's available up here because they're going to be too old. Let's see. Humphrey for supply. Philip is a politician. And Fulk is a landowner. What does that give us? Wealth from agricultural buildings. Not that that's a big agricultural center. Personal influence. And supply replenishment. We'll take a look. 39 age, 30. Let's see, age 39, age 32, age 30. We're gonna go with the youngest because none of these traits were absolutely amazing for Essex. If it was more income based than agricultural based, I would have gone with Fulk despite of the age, but since nothing is quite perfect, we'll go with the age to go for the longevity. Let's pick the governorship of Essex and install the guy. Oh, we don't have the funds. Here I'm going, why did it all black out? Well, right there in front of me, open your eyes is my statement for the day. We just have not quite enough funds, so we'll have to install a governor there next time. No immediate rush per se, because we are at 100 public order. It's not going to deteriorate two at a time that fast. All right, so that should be it for this turn. We'll come down this way and get the crusading army on the move as soon as we hit next turn, because we will have our final units recruited. So we'll see you on the other side of this turn.
We are not a friend for the new moon and an enemy in the old. Come, can we not help each other openly?
All right, Thomas has contacted us from the Kingdom of Sweden, and we're just going to go straight up. Well, let's do the counteroffer. Yeah, moderate. So we're going to go straight up and just accept this non-aggression pact.
As long as our strength remains, we would be honored to count you as friends and more.
Okay, County of Savoy would like a defensive alignment. I think non-aggression pact is really all I want to do at this point, especially if they want me to pay.
Should we cooperate? Our enemies would cower and seek safety. Do you not think that a fine prospect?
I think that's a fine prospect. I have no desires to move against the Duchy of Greater Poland. All right, we have a new child born. I forgot to see who had the death of their child the turn before. But we have a new son, William and Celia, getting active. Eric is now been born. All right, and the good news is we can get our crusading armies on the move. So let's get them to sea.
Advance.
And we're going to have to figure out, is it in our best interest to avoid the deep oceans and not end our turn there, as it is in other games I'm aware of. So we'll I guess we'll just kind of tootle on over this way, kind of stay near the coastal areas, so we don't risk any potential. Yeah, this is it. If you do go to the sea and there's a skull and crossbones, we do not want to take the high seas, so we will proceed around.
All hands to the oars. Moving out. Your
We
next
need
command.
no additional sea attrition to hurt our forces. Now let's put the sea here also. And we'll see if we can't follow the same similar route. Oh, this one can travel a little bit farther. So you probably have some general perks. They help with your campaign movement is what I gotta guess. Over this newer general down here.
Would that I were as swift as the angels. Stopping for now.
Also, alright, so our crusading army is, in fact, this city is no longer invested either, so apparently they broke off the attack for who knows what reason. Maybe they realized that a crusade has been called against this area, so perhaps they're going, I don't want to be the one holding it, and let's break off our attack. That's what we'll say, at least, has happened. And then let's get our reinforcing armies. They're going to be moving down into this area in place. We'll just pop you with good sanitation into Toulouse.
Get to it, men. Commander.
And it looks like integrity is deteriorating in this army, but it's still in good shape.
Ready for battle. Once. Waiting for more orders.
And integrity here is also deteriorating, but nothing bad. We all have great initial integrity. We can afford a little deterioration on our relocations to the south. Population surplus in Lyon. Kingdom of Sweden. Yeah, there's our non-negotiation packs, trade packs, non-aggression packs. And we lost a household merchant. Does that mean there was a death down below? No, it doesn't look like it. So apparently we lost our merchant. We've constructed our iron mine in London, or near London, and a Catholic church has also been built.
Salutations.
We're going to keep Edward. In fact, we'll move Edward around our target city,
On the move.
just to make sure there's nothing hiding over here on this side. So it looks like we'll be able to invest in our crusade target next turn.
How can I serve you?
And we're still suffering from winter up here. It's not an army, so I don't at least have to worry about attrition. And then Arthur, we're going to send you back on your waffling back and forth, except we'll send you the long way around this time.
Your orders. As you command.
And we're not seeing any hidden armies down here. Don't have a lot of funds built up at 930 per turn, but one thing we do have built up is the ability to hire that governor we were looking for and looking at. So Richard is the one, our heir, who's been bit by the childhood deaths. That's got to be not good on his character. Let's see if there's any weird traits that have picked up because of it. Apparently not. His age is still good at 30. Her age is still decent. Also, there should be no reason why they can't produce another child. We'll find out. But that's gotta hurt. And actually what brought me in here was just to see if anyone had come of age for a governorship that I might have missed. But no, we'll go down into the pool to hire our governor. And it looks like we will go with Humphrey, because neither one has a real strong governor trait. Okay, let's get Humphrey into Essex. And as far as Essex goes, we're going to ignore the negative public order hit that we're taking, because by the time he gets a promotion and is able to start addressing that, we'll still be fine. So therefore, I'm going to go for the income constructing rural wayhouses edict. All right, so what we're going to do at this point, as frustrating as that may be, is we're going to stop at this point because enough time has gone by where I just don't think I can fit in another turn, putting our Crusade target under siege and then having the battle happen on this episode. I'm a little disappointed. Wasn't counting on having to hang out here quite as long for the recruitment. I really was hoping to get that Crusade battle started, but the good news is we are even closer. We are even closer to having our forces in place here to start moving on the Iberian Peninsula with 2 full stack armies. And we can guarantee you that we are very close to reaching our Crusade target here. Next turn, it looks like, to start the siege and get ready for the battle, which most assuredly should happen next turn. And we can have a successful Crusade, I'm hoping, provided something weird doesn't pop up and happen in the interim. And we have some fun things on the horizon here to deal with. Thanks so much for your patience on me figuring out this crusading mechanic and the recruiting part of it. But we got it all working. Hopefully you all learned a little something from that episode too. And I want to thank you so much. Hit me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. If you're learning a little something, enjoying the mod and the depth that the mod provides. And also leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you looking forward to this battle or the battles to come as much as I am? I know I sure am. And I'd love to hear from you also. You all have a great one. Thanks so much for watching. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world.